member of the creative team, and as a wrestler, one of the all-time greats who will never be forgotten. A true pioneer for having a finger on the business for what wrestling fans wanted. He went above and beyond the requirements of a member of the creative team to push people like Cody and Dustin like he did for years and give wrestling fans what they wanted. And for that, sir, you will never be forgotten. Thank you for your services and thank you for your time. What an incredible life, what an incredible career Dusty Rhodes had, spending many generations. He will never, ever be forgotten. I know I will never forget the memories Dusty Rhodes is leaving me with. This week on our show, what I have for you are my thoughts on the direction of Bray Wyatt's character in the WWE, because I have no idea where they're going with this. 1 minute he's feuding with John Cena back in 2014. The next minute he's feuding with The Undertaker. He never came out on the winning end of either one of these feuds. He had a couple of wins over John Cena in the cage match. He never came out on the winning end against The Undertaker. Obviously, The Undertaker was going to win, especially after losing to Brock Lesnar the previous year at WrestleMania. He had a feud with Ryback he came out on the winning end of, but really, is Bray Wyatt benefiting from anything that he is doing? Now, there are rumors he is in affiliation with The Undertaker and Sting, this higher power which is looming in WWE. I don't really buy into the idea of him having anything to do with Sting or The Undertaker, because I can't really see where Bray Wyatt fits in with that. I see Sting and The Undertaker teaming up because they were icons of the respective brands for years. But I can't really see where Bray Wyatt fits in with this. If anything, this program with Roman Reigns is where it is right now for Bray Wyatt. He's exemplifying great wrestling psychology, which I can never give him enough credit for, really bringing the best out of both himself and Roman Reigns in this feud. Can't really say that I agree with the referencing of Roman Reigns' personal life and his daughter in these promos that Bray Wyatt has been dropping, but again, the same thing could have been said about Dean Ambrose when he was referring to writing postcards to his father from prison or something, or his father was writing postcards to him from prison, rather. You know, he's gone really far with some of his promos, but I think he's gone way too far with this. So maybe the personal life of Roman Reigns can be left out of this. But I think great wrestling psychology is being exemplified by Bray Wyatt. And I don't know about you guys, but he really puts me in mind of a Jake the Snake Roberts or a Roddy Piper when it comes to some of the greatest wrestling psychologists in the business, because he is a great wrestling psychologist. I don't know who he's learning his craft from. Maybe it's IRS, his dad. I don't know, but he's a great wrestling psychologist who gets on your nerves, being paid to get on your nerves, and achieving that goal. If there ever was someone who could give you aspirations to be a wrestler at this point in your life, it would be Bray Wyatt. He has so many followers with the cell phones, the buzzers as he calls them, and he's doing such a great job. My hat's off to Bray Wyatt, which is why I think Bray Wyatt should not go without being rewarded. He should be given an opportunity at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, something I had initially predicted for Bray Wyatt when he was leading the Wyatt family, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, to greatness. By October of 2013, I thought that Bray Wyatt was going to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a prediction that was not followed through with. And still nothing has been done with Bray Wyatt's character creatively. He's never even been given an opportunity for the Intercontinental or United States Championship, which has led me to believe that Bray Wyatt is just kind of there as someone to put somebody over and just to cut phenomenal promos and to get on your nerves. That's what this has led me to believe. And I think that Bray Wyatt should not go without reconciliation or without being rewarded, because without rewarding such an incredible talent, you're not really getting anywhere, nor are you recognizing his fullest potential, which Bray Wyatt has a lot of. I mean, Bray Wyatt can be up there feuding with people like Sting and Brock Lesnar more than what he's ever given credit for. And I think where it comes from is just WWE don't have enough faith right now to put him up for the championship. But I think, you know, they spend enough time promoting Bray Wyatt, and if there ever was a time to put him up for the championship, it should have been after WrestleMania. He shouldn't have immediately went into mid-card feuds with Ryback and other wrestlers. What you should have done is immediately put him up for the championship, because I think even though he came out on the losing end with The Undertaker, I think he came out of that match with a considerable amount of momentum and enough momentum to be the number one contender for the championship, if not be the champion. And I think that if there ever was a top 5 list of future champions ever compiled by a wrestling radio show host, a columnist, a wrestling fan, I think Bray Wyatt would definitely be somewhere up there within the top 3, if not somewhere in the top 5 of suggestions of future world champions. Definitely, any champion will be better than the champion we have now. Yes, Seth Rollins is doing a phenomenal job getting on our nerves as champion, but any champion will be better than the champion that we have now, even if it came down to the wire and you gave Bray Wyatt the opportunity to be champion. I mean, he's such a great wrestling psychologist. He has so many fans out there, no matter if you like him or you don't. He has so many fans out there, and he's one of those wrestlers that are just the fan favorite, no matter if he's supposed to be a heel or not. And I think that in time, we're going to see a metamorphosis period go through for Bray Wyatt, where Bray Wyatt will become a fan favorite all around, and he'll have more followers than ever before. I love how the lights go out. And all the cell phones just immediately come on, just as they did for The Undertaker, just as they've done for some of the more iconic names in the business. But with how Bray Wyatt is such a great wrestling psychologist, you know he has wrestling fans in the palm of his hand. When the cell phones immediately light up when the lights go out, the Bray Wyatt special effects kick in. He comes out with the lantern. Now, he still gets on the scattered wrestling fans' nerves. I've spoken to a lot of people who still are irritated by Bray Wyatt from when he first came in up until now. But I think the Bray Wyatt fan wagon is getting bigger all the time. We have more Bray Wyatt supporters, and we have more people who are buying into this idea that he could be a future champion. And I give a lot of wrestling fans credit for recognizing his potential, which brings me back to my initial point of how I believe that if wrestling listened to its fans, the wrestling business would be a far better place than what it's ever given credit for, because wrestling does not listen to its fans enough. One of the biggest issues with this business, without a fucking doubt, is the authority. Dusty Rhodes was a creative genius, which is more than what I can say for COO Triple H and principal owner Stephanie, who don't listen to the fans enough. Yes, they do a tremendous job with campaigns outside of the wrestling business, like the WrestleMania Rating Challenge, the Anti-Bullying Be a Star campaign. Great job for you guys. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, you grant more wishes than any sports organization in the world or any celebrities that are out there, including the likes of Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, etc. You do a great job. But the thing is, you don't listen to wrestling fans from inside the business who have more understanding of what's going on than they are ever given credit for, because they are some of the smartest people in the world. My hat's off to you. Big thumbs up, big shout out going out, especially the subscribers we have on this Facebook page at HEW Entertainment that have a great insight when it comes to opinions. Very opinionated. Wrestling fans are some of the more opinionated people in the world. You go to Philadelphia and you talk to any wrestling fan in Philadelphia, they still believe that ECW is alive and well. They still believe that people like Tommy Dreamer are the fucking shit, because they understand professional wrestling more than what they are ever given credit for. My hat's off to you guys. Big shout out to you. Which is why I think that if wrestling was listening to its fans, we'd see more people like Bray Wyatt on top all the time. More NXT superstars will probably be being given opportunities than what are being given opportunities. And I think that wrestling would be being reviewed more positively, and people like Bray Wyatt would be getting the benefit of the doubt more than they are ever given credit for. What it comes down to in wrestling is who you're on the show with and what role you have in a show. And if you're getting the numbers, that's all the McMahons care about. I mean, let's face facts. Bray Wyatt is getting the numbers, yes, but he's not getting the numbers high enough to the satisfaction of the McMahons or Triple H. And because he's not getting satisfactory numbers, that's why he's not on top. Because John Cena's always their go-to guy for the numbers, no matter if you love him or you hate him. People chant Cena sucks. People chant let's go Cena. So they like the psychology of that. Cena's still getting numbers regardless of how you feel about him, so he's still on top. I give Cena credit for that. I think he's a great U.S. champion. He's a great representative, but we see way too much of John Cena, and that's where my frustration comes from when it relates to John Cena. When I reference John Cena, yes, I'm pissed off more times than I'm ever happy with anything John Cena does or has done throughout his illustrious career. But the thing about John Cena is he just gets on my nerves because we see way too much of him, and we never see opportunities given to people like Seth Rollins more than enough. Yes, Seth Rollins pisses me off too, and I don't like him. I've never shied away from giving you my honest opinion and feelings when it comes to that piece of shit. But the thing is, at least we're seeing something different with Rollins as champion. At least we're seeing something different with Dean Ambrose chasing him week in and week out. And we're seeing something different now with Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. And we could be seeing the same differentiality with Bray Wyatt. It's just he's never given an opportunity. And I wish they were doing more with more characters out of the Wyatt family, like Eric Rowan, more especially with the Goat's Mask, like they're doing with Bray Wyatt. Where are Luke Harper and Eric Rowan right now? They're not even teaming up. They're just kind of extras in WWE. So obviously we knew the breakout star of the Wyatt family was going to be Bray Wyatt. So the one that you would expect to see the most potential from would have been Wyatt. But nothing has been done with his character. He had a couple of matches with Dean Ambrose, which were phenomenal. A couple of matches with people like Roman Reigns, which were phenomenal. And I think that he should be being rewarded for this opportunity. And which is why I'm going to go as far to say that by the end of 2015, Bray Wyatt will be a top consideration to either have been champion going into the road to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas next year, or he'll be a top 5 consideration to win the 2016 Royal Rumble match. If he's not the champion going into WrestleMania or before that, he'll be a top consideration to win the Royal Rumble match. He's one of my top 5 picks to win next year's Royal Rumble match because he has to have something creatively done with his character if he ever wants to get anywhere in this business. And he is someone who can go the distance, who you can get a number of years out of if you book him the right way against talent he can work with, such as Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, which I'm really proud of. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. It's a great match. Looking ahead to Battleground on July 19th. My prediction in this match is Bray Wyatt's going to come out because he has a psychological advantage over Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns really has not had things going in the right place for him. He's not in the right place mentally, nor is he in the right place physically, and he's not as big of a fan favorite as someone like Bray Wyatt. So Bray Wyatt, because Bray's getting higher numbers than Roman is right now and selling more merchandise and having more followers on social media all throughout it, I think Bray Wyatt is going to be the one who comes away with this as the victor. Now, I don't really agree with how the personal life of Reigns is being looked at. I think that could be, taken out of it. But I think that Reigns is just not popular enough. That's why he didn't win the championship from Lesnar. That's why WrestleMania saw the results that it did with Rollins escaping with the championship. Because why put the title on someone you don't have enough confidence in when you put the title on someone who pisses you off? And Seth Rollins pisses you off, so why not put the title on him? That's what they went with creatively. And that's what we got over. And that's why we're seeing Rollins always escaping from pay-per-view to pay-per-view with the championship. And we're never seeing that strap given to Reigns. So Bray Wyatt's the one who's going to come out of this. He's going to put Roman over for the future. Roman's probably going to have something bigger ultimately down the road. But what gets me is more people are getting behind Roman now because of having pity, I think, on Roman Reigns. It's not because you're a fan favorite. You're not favoring Reigns in anything. You're just, having pity on Reigns, and that's where all this is coming from. You're more of a fan of Bray Wyatt, and a lot of people out there are fans of Bray Wyatt who don't even admit to being a fan of Bray Wyatt. Because you're a fan of Bray Wyatt ever before you were a fan of Roman Reigns, that's why Bray Wyatt's going to come in on top, because he's getting higher numbers than what Roman is. He's a part of the Heat Wave Tour, Bray Wyatt is. So is Reigns.